All right, Ben Davison, thank you so much for joining us. Ben, you've got Devin Haney here. We're talking here about his December 4th fight. I mean, honestly, can the case be made with you already accomplishing an undisputed champion in Josh Taylor? You win this fight, and you've got another title in tow with Lee Wood at featherweight. Should you be considered the trainer of the year?
It's hard to say. I wouldn't like to say. I mean, this year we have had a good year. We had Lee McGregor win the European title with a first round stoppage. Josh had first round stoppage, mandatory defence, and then the Jose Ramirez win. Lee Wood won a British title, then went on to win a world title.
This is no slouch of a fight for Devin Haney either.
No, for sure. And then Lee actually had another fourth round stoppage win with a European title defence. And then Haney, Linares, and Devin Haney, JoJo Diaz. So it's opinions, isn't it? It's not up for me to decide.
Yeah, it's nice that you've reached this spot in life. Do you take some satisfaction in where you are and what you've built of your training career?
Yeah, for sure. But I never really. Satisfied is not the right word. I'm content but not satisfied, because I forever want to keep helping fighters just fulfill their potential. That's what I believe my job is.
You've got, Devin Haney, obviously his talent speaks for himself. I mean, we saw so much of that in the Linares fight. And yes, he had that little bump in the road of, taking a punch that probably would have rattled anyone. But against JoJo Diaz, you're dealing with this kind of relentless bulldog type fighter. How are you going to solve that puzzle?
I believe that Devin goes about it the right way, that Devin will be the boss in there in terms of he'll be pushing JoJo Diaz back. But that's for us to work out and for Devin to show on fight night.
Yeah, I mean, Devin's, as we're saying, in the rounds leading up to the final rounds in the Linares fight, Devin, to me, looked like, and I mean, maybe this is sacrilege to say, but you can say maybe another Mayweather coming our way. I mean, he looked that special.
No one's ever ranked rounds like that against Linares. It was a phenomenal performance. I was just saying earlier, I do think that he got a little bit eager to get the stoppage. I think he was. I think if he had stuck along the lines of what he was doing, the consistency of the quality that he was producing in that fight would have been enough to stop Linares. But that's all part of experience, and it's easy to forget that he's 22 years old. So yeah, he's a special fighter.
And you expect to see that in December?
Yeah, for sure, you will see that. He's committed, he loves what he does, he's committed to it, lives the life, and he's a 24/7 fighter, so he'll produce.
So many great fights before him, and I think that there's been a lot of, criticism or angst about why can't these guys get together, but it seems to me that Devin's a pretty willing participant. Whether it be Teofimo Lopez or Gervonta Davis or whoever else comes before him. Have you guys ever had any conversations about that and his willingness to step in there against anyone?
He's got that attitude. It's part of, as well, it's key. Like when people talk about progress, it's important when you're of Devin's age to make progress, and part of progress is, let's say you're working on a specific something. You need an opponent that. There's no point working on an area of Devin's boxing to then come across an opponent. You need to go, do you know what, for this fight, that's not the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So there's times when you have mandatories and things like this, but it's also a progression for Devin to get to where he wants to be, and that's like pound for pound number one. So to keep making that progression, you need the right opponents to be able to hone and practice and develop skills that you're looking to work on and you're working on.
Is it, last question, I mean, basically, have you elevated to the point with Devin that you are like his full-time trainer, or how's the corner operate?
Yeah, no, I can't say that. Obviously, his dad's, lots of trainers work with Devin along the way to help him become the fighter that he's become. His dad's spent his whole life developing him. I'm just here, I turn up, I do the best to help fulfill his potential, and that's my job.
Well, he's lucky to have you in his corner. Thank you so much, Ben.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate your time.